Hi, I'm Andy Murphy. I've got a 2021 10 FD. I'm from Smithville, Tennessee. Travel around the country as a photographer, doing landscape and wildlife photography. FB is perfect for me for that purpose. So the mods that I've made since I've got the unit, I added the Tractor Supply Center tongue box, which and a dual LP tank.
Slid them forward a little bit.
Yep. It was actually less expensive to do a dual and try to come up with the amount for the single.
Nice.
Kind of interesting. So
now I see you have a really nice awning here.
Yeah, it's the Napa awning. This is the first time I've actually had it out. I just put it on. I just went through a series of new second round updates, and this is kind of the shakeout tour for those. I did that, and this is a veranda mosquito net. I thought it was the right size. It's a little too big. It's kind of an experiment and a work in progress. So I'm gonna try to pick up a small. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was like $30.
Oh wow!
So
much cheaper.
Yeah.
You have a really nice outdoor rug. Are these lights solar? Are they DC?
These are solar. Yeah. So they just, I've got the power supplies hanging up over there on the corner, and it just charges. The rug from Walmart, and there's the number one accessory. His name's Henry.
Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
So you have a pretty comfortable campsite here. You mind showing us inside?
Yeah, come on in. So when I bought this actually used, the people that owned it only had it for about 6 months. They had stuff like this on there, which is nice. I like it. It's blackout, folds up. I added the netting here when I'm just doing quick runs. My idea for this was to keep it kind of easy to set up and easy to tear down when I'm traveling for photography. This had the storage. I took the storage out on that side, kept this one, cut it in half, so I've got doors now. So I got 3 panels to open up and store stuff underneath. Put the carpet on. This is a gaming chair, actually, that I bought to put in as a floor gaming chair, and it's nice because you can kind of sit in, when you just pull in, you can sit up in the chair. It's easy on the back. A little bit easier than just kind of sitting and crawling around on the bed all the time.
I really like that. And going solo here, to have a place inside the camper, oftentimes we talk about how we spend most of our time outdoors in the bushwhackers for sleeping, but whether it's the AC, I mean, it's well over 90 degrees out right now, and or a rainy day, it is absolutely nice to have a little home office in here as well.
Yep, I did replace the air conditioner. I put the Toshiba in. It fit a little bit better, and then I reworked the inside of the cabinet to make it efficient and actually work.
Now, we're going to show some shots of this. Now, anyone who's familiar with the 10FB model knows that they located this air conditioner in the center, and although it was convenient, it was very problematic. It didn't work very well. Overly technical.
Yeah.
When you get into why it's starved for air. So what I'm really impressed with was some of the mods that you made to make that work.
Yeah, and we can go around and
Sure
take a look at that if you want. So this is the primary, probably the most important part of the mod that I did after I took Reflectex and basically built what is an oven hood in the cabinet behind the air conditioner to seal it off. I then took the actual vents off, which look like this. So this is, if you've got the 10FE, you're familiar with this vent. It's very restricted. I mean, it when you take it off and look at it, it only has an opening about that big inside in the vent.
So these air conditioners are designed to breathe. They were engineered to hang outside a window. So when you box it into a cabin like that, it really needs airflow from multiple different ways. It's cycling air through the back end of it, and then there's interior air exchange. So we've seen a ton of these mods, but this is different than some of the other AC mods that I've seen.
Yep.
Do you have any DC powered fans for circulation?
No, so I put an AC fan, 2 AC fans that are waterproof in the unit, so it was very easy. I just put a furring strip in across the box, and then screwed them in and pointed them up.
So what is unique about this, and I really like it, is you are forcing the hot air up, which is always easier. A lot of times we had to force it down.
Yep.
And when we say an AC fan, that actually doesn't matter, because if you're running air conditioning, you have access to alternating current.
Yep. And so what I did was I took the vent off, laid it on a piece of marine plastic, traced it out, cut it with a jigsaw, and then took a hole saw, lined it up so that the holes that are actually already cut in the trailer, lined it up with that, drilled them through, and then just mounted these. Basically, these are sewer fittings for campers.
Yep, very common component. A lot of times people use them for climate control, the Climate Right and the Zero Breeze. A way to they're in addition to sewer outlets, they're used for a lot. Now I see you have a tiltable 200-watt panel.
Yep.
So you're getting a lot of solar in here. But underneath that, I see you have Reflex Tech on both sides of the camper. This is very, very smart. You want this camper to stay cooler, add some refraction, and a little bit of R value. And
it was an afterthought. I had to buy the Reflectex for the air conditioning mod, so I had a roll of it. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to cut it and see if it helps. And it's not something that it's interesting because I cut it so it's in two pieces. So I pull it up, just roll it up, and throw it in the camper. Downside, though, is if you get moisture on it, you definitely want to get the moisture off because you'll end up with a wet lid.
Yeah, you end up, you got to put it on a towel or a bag or something. But that's like any canopy or awning or tent that we've ever dealt with camping. So,
but when you're in, don't use it. You don't need it all the time. But just when you're in the hottest part of the summer, I would say it probably, and I've got just enough sunlight at noon here that it helps. You can. In the middle of day, you can just put your hand under there, and it's not hot at all. And I'd say it probably buys me a couple of degrees.
Now, I have to say this because not everyone who watches the channel is into the Bushwhackers or interested in buying them. A lot of times I get somebody asking why anybody would buy a camper that they have to do all of these things to. This is an inexpensive rig. There's nothing priced close to this. You bought yours secondhand. So with all of your investments in this, I have to assume you're half the price of a new camp tag.
Oh, less than that.
Less than that.
I mean, it's amazing. There's probably not the most expensive thing probably that I've done is the air conditioner replacement.
Yeah, so we tinker, and these FBs, they're not even, you can't even buy them anymore. They don't make them anymore. And I think part of the reason why was folks really wanted to use that air conditioner and it never worked. You have a really sound solution to this, and I talked to you last night. You're not done yet. You want to keep tinkering, doing a little engineering on this. It's really nice to have a discount trailer that has a furnace and air conditioning.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And some more insulation.
And you'll see here I've got this is a little MIMO antenna for. I've got a PepWave router in the cabinet inside. And so one of the things I did do was I set up the TV came in it. I actually wired the TV to the stereo, so I've got TV in the stereo when I'm in there, and then the PepWave router I use with an iPad, and I can watch TV, movies, YouTube
Excellent.
TV.
So how did you do any work on your galley? You want to show us the galley?
No, nothing to the galley yet. The galley's coming.
Oh, well, you're being modest. I see mods already. So you went with the cutout for the BougeRV?
Yeah, but I haven't done the drawer yet.
I see you. Yeah, you've left this bottom piece in, which a lot of people tear that out.
Yeah, it's just for the moment. I'm still. What I decided to do is wait and use the trailer a little bit more, so that when I do the galley update, it's based on what I really need, not what I think I need.
It's a very smart way to go. And like you said, we're camping. It's very hot, so I understand the AC mods, but a lot of us have done this. You have the Durafoss inlet with a ball valve.
Yep.
Every time I show this, people ask me to send them a link of the faucet. Braxton Creek included about 3 or 4 different connections here, so it's hard to send a link that'll work for everyone. Is this like a jet boil?
No, it's the Flame King.
Similar, though.
Yeah, and that's what came in the unit. And then, like I said, just trying to keep everything, low to the ground. I've just got a camp cook kit. It takes up very little space.
Now, you bought this secondhand. Those are upgraded speakers. Yes?
Yep, I upgraded the speakers inside and out.
Oh, nice. How did you keep the same amp receiver?
Yeah, I felt like, I'm not going to be sitting in the woods rocking out, and if I'm going to do that, I'll use my headphones. So
remember, I mean, we're talking a lot of modifications, and the price tag is low. Now, it's always an uncomfortable question, but you're under 11 total, probably, right?
11,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So
I probably haven't spent 1,500 on the upgrades.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
and that includes the lithium battery. Actually, I'm sorry, we said that the lithium battery is probably the most expensive thing.
I'm very familiar with the money I spend on those each year. But
I'm very happy with the lithium battery, the controller, and I don't think I've ever been under 80%.
Now, we'll come back to this kick-ass shower room, but let's talk about that battery because you're doing it right. Now, you have a lithium battery in here, but you also upgraded the charging and have some...
So this is a little bit of a jerry rig. I'm trying this out now, but while I come up with the actual storage, I'm thinking about putting another battery. So once I do that, once I make that decision, then I'll do something a little cleaner on the setup.
Well, so you have a 100 amp hour self-heating BougeRV. So you've eliminated the cold temperature issues. You have enough solar to initiate that heating feature when you're in cold weather. I see you have a negative shunt, so you have some battery monitoring.
Yep.
And you have the BougeRV MPPT solar charge controller. So you have a pretty nice setup here. Now, do you have any DC charging, anything from the tow vehicle yet?
No, I've disconnected that.
That's the route that is the fastest and easiest to eliminate it.
And then truthfully, I can turn the solar panel off and on when I don't want to charge. But when I'm driving down the road, I just leave it on, let it charge, and I haven't had a problem.
I have talked about this several times on the channel. I actually have a video that was all about it. But you can eliminate your tow vehicle interaction, dodge any of the potential issues. And if you do have rooftop solar, it's often more charge than most of us were getting, especially with these smaller alternator vehicles. You're pulling it with a JK, JKU. Nice. How do you like towing with the Jeep?
It's pretty decent. I mean, I'm on the trip up here from Tennessee, I think I did about 16.5 miles to the gallon.
I tow locally with the Jeep. I take the Tacoma for the long trips. Has it been a little gutless on the hills or not too bad?
I just drive, when I get in, I'm not in a hurry, and I just drive. I listen to the engine and let the engine tell me how fast to go. And you know what? It doesn't really matter. But because the main thing for me is once I get to where I'm at, I set up and then I take off in the Jeep with my camera. And I like the Jeep because I can go off-road. I can stand on top of the Jeep, when I'm taking pictures and, stuff like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you want to take us through these shower rooms get such good reviews. Or I use it as a changing room and
stuff. So that's what I originally did. I was on my last trip. I've decided I'm not flexible enough to change clothes inside the camper. Stayed in some dispersed camping, and I stayed in a couple of RV parks because I needed air conditioning for the dog. So I bought this. It's a little interesting though. The opening is here. So it's not like you can open the trailer and just pop out into it.
It's truly meant to be a four-sided privacy team.
Yeah, and so I don't know yet. I haven't come up with a solution.
Some simple mods, that'll get figured out. But teardrop lifestyle, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Putting your pants on is something.
Without flashing everybody.
So we love camping out of these, but the downside is, sometimes you have to invest a little bit in solutions that you wouldn't necessarily have to do if you had one.
Well, I think the other thing is I'm really interested in doing the hot water mod, and you're going to see that probably on Sam's place today. But the hot water mod is actually a pretty interesting mod, and with that, then I've got my shower ready to go. So that's pretty good.
The Bushwhacker parked next to me was taking a hot water shower today, with the Pelican box on the side.
Yeah, I think the thing that, what I've found is try to think ahead too. Don't just jump into doing your mods. Kind of space them out, think ahead, think about what you might be able to do later. Like I said, like with the shower, when I bought this, the idea was purely, I got a changing room, but if I want to add the hot water, then I've got a place to shower. And I would say that about the same thing I'm going to do with the galley is I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to use it.
It's excellent advice. So now, meeting all these folks at these teardrop gatherings, I'm always interested in folks' stories, but to have somebody that's able to use their setup, they can tow it with a Jeep, they're out here to do photography and appreciate the outdoors. This is just a nice, in this case, a cool place to go to sleep, but it could be a hot place. It's a warm place to go to sleep in the winter.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I really appreciate the tour. Thank you for taking the time to do it.
I appreciate it. Hey, and if you guys want to see my website for photography, it's www.andersonmurphyphoto.com.
I will get that link from you. I will put it in the description, but I'm really excited to see somebody out here adventure traveling to see what kind of photos you're coming up with. But thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, man. Thanks.